Hi, Facebook, family, friends, and those of you that just stopped by. I'm about to attempt a cabbage fufu. So I have 3 heads of cabbage that I'm about to cut up. And I've said it before that I kind of do probably a little more than just one because I really don't like to make the mess that comes along with it. But either way, I'm gonna cut them up and then I'll just come back and we'll walk it through as we walk it through. Okay? So, cut these up. Try to cut them in smaller pieces so that when you put them in the blender, now some of you may have one of them, them blenders that, they get right on in and they just go ahead and, they can probably chop rocks. And if you got that, wonderful. But mine is not that, so I'm gonna cut it in smaller pieces and make it easier on my blender to mince it up, make it basically into, it's almost really like powder, really. You can do this with broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, the red cabbage, I would say any eggplant, almost any vegetable you really want that that you can basically dry out after you get, even this cabbage, believe it or not, and I'm gonna put a lot of water in it in the blender, but I'm gonna get it all back out to the best of my ability. But you can make, I did a spinach one the last time I did a spinach one. You can do spinach. I would imagine you can do anything that you really like. And you can turn it into, I'm not going to do mine with any type of flour because you could do it with almond flour, coconut flour, all kinds of flour. I'm going to show you different things you can mix with it. It's a binding agent. This is psyllium husk. I used that last time. I'm not using it this time. And you can also use nutritional yeast. There's several different things that you can use. What is it? White corn, which is basically, you can use oatmeal, because that's what really white corn is. Well, to me it is. It might not be really white corn, but oatmeal. It's according to, what is oatmeal? It's the old-fashioned oats. Whatever level of low carb you want to take it to. Now, I'm using something today. I'm going to show you when it comes in. I'm still waiting as a different binder. And because too much fiber is, while I really, really need the fiber in a different way, I can't have too much because then it becomes a binding agent for me. So I'm not going to use those things today. I'm going to use a different one. And like I said, I'll show you. I'm actually still waiting for it to come through Amazon at this minute. But I'm going to go ahead and cut my stuff up and be ready when it comes. I do find that cabbage is not quite as messy as like your broccoli and maybe even your spinach. And the spinach just being best because, when you grind that up and it turns into that green matter, that can tend to stain things. So you got to be careful with that. But cabbage, for the most part, it's even going to be a really nice, lightly colored fufu, right? more along the lines of the original FuFu. But again, you know, I am not the person to be really teaching on any type of FuFu making, but I do like it. And I mean, I like the original, made by the original African hands. And I grew to love it. So, but I knew I couldn't have I couldn't continuously eat it with in that way, just because my body and carbs, yeah, that's a large amounts of carbs wouldn't withstand, you know, kind of just can't do high amounts of carbs every day. That mean you gonna eat it every day? It does mean when I make it like this that I will eat it. I will eat it for the week. So, because I'm definitely gonna eat it till it's gone. So I'm not, but that's why I'm choosing to do it in a healthier fashion, that I can still get, you know, the same concept. And it still makes me feel like I'm having some really good, I guess some people might call it Gary, or swallow. But I don't feel comfortable in trying to give that type of information or explanation at all. I'm just saying that this is another way that you can make and enjoy FuFu. And it'll still make you can still put it in your hand and use it as a good dipper. Because yes, when you don't have to not use a fork or a spoon, but it's really not necessary. And I prefer not to, but you can put it in your bowl with whatever kind of soup you're making, or stew, and just have it like that. You know what I wish I could make with it? But I cannot. I do not. This would not dry out. I wish I actually could do a tomato one, right? And maybe somehow if I probably could use, you know what? I bet you I could use, but I ain't doing it because I'm not wasting. When it comes down to these vegetables, stuff is high right now. I can't waste nothing. But you know what? I bet you I could actually maybe season it with this stuff here. Or maybe even actually use the regular tomato and just not in large portions. I don't know. I'll try it one day, just not today. Not like it's the worst blender in the world. It is a decent blender. It is a Ninja one. I got these on sale, like, I don't know. This Joker's, I don't know how old this is, but it's really, 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 really old. And she's still working. And so I use this one instead of the other one that I have. You just got to make sure that right there is. Oh, you know, I know something I never knew that existed. Is this a juicer? Who knows? Anyway, it works on this. And then you just have to make sure that this is lined up here with that portion right there. Push down and she goes to work. Put water in it. I don't know if you can see it. Probably too much water, but you really can't have too much water because you're going to drain it out anyway. It's just to help your blender do what it's doing. You can see it gets really mincy. cabbage, honestly, is about the least messiest. I really, and I do like, last time I made it, I enjoyed the flavor of the cabbage. And I don't add seasoning. I showed you that seasoning because I was thinking about just changing the flavor of the fufu into a tomatoey taste. But that's not necessary either, because most of the soups that I make has, I use lots of, I use tomato paste. You know, peanut butter, tomato paste, ginger, fresh garlic. So it's not really necessary to have the actual tomato. My cheesecloth that I'm using today happens to be in the order too. So I'm just actually starting early just so, because I wanted to. So I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to use a regular scarf. I'm going to just put it across this colander. And let it just sit there and drain. Because I could have this done. Hopefully you can see. You can hear it going down. And I'm gonna keep on blending. I'll show you. I got a little bit left of the 3 cabbages. And what I've done so far, because I'm really waiting anyway, is I've just let it sit in the colander with the scarf. And it's just sitting there right now, just draining on its own. So I may not even really, I mean, this scarf, honestly, you could sit and squeeze the scarf, but I probably won't have to, because I'm waiting anyway. So I probably won't have to really squeeze the water out. If I do need to, I will. And if it drains all of it, because you know, you still kind of want some water in there. You do want some water, you know, when you, because you still have to cook the cabbage. While you add the binder. So I do want a little bit of the water in there, but I was just showing you what the 3 heads of cabbage look like. All done up. You want to know what it looks like if I picked it up out of here. That's what it looks like. As you can see, you can still squeeze it. But if you got time, you can just let it sit in the colander too and just let it drain on its own, which is what I'm about to do, because I really want some of this water. Definitely don't want all of it. But I'm going to set it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it in this bowl and just let it sit there and drain. I want to use some of that juice that comes out. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and this could be funny because I do not know if this will fit, this amount will fit in this pot. This should fit in here. I don't know if I got out enough water or if I got too much out, but I think it's might be perfect. But as you can see, great consistency. Great consistency. So it's just right. Look. With that binding agent when it comes. I mean, if it don't come, I'll use the psyllium husk, but I don't want to use that this time. And I'm gonna put this on the stove with, I'm gonna use some of this water that came out of the cabbage to cook it. So I'll let this sit up here and just cook till I feel like it's done, maybe 15, 20 minutes, if that. And then I'll add the binding ingredient. Those of you wondering how easy, this to me, the scarf cleans up, or I can get it cleaner than the cheesecloth faster. It's still dripping. I'm gonna take it out and just let it hang and dry. And any little pieces left, you can shake it out. But that's how easy it is to get your scarf back clean. That's my soup. And the soup is basically vegetables, green pepper, jalapenos, and mine, chicken, tomato paste. I gotta think about what it is. I did say yellow, red, and orange peppers. What's the other things? I can't even think of these things, Lord Jesus. This is cold because it was already made. Hold on, let me look it up. Okra. Sorry. Onions. All the seasonings you can do. Ginger. I did mine in a hot oil. The hot oil, I make the hot oil. Basically just the olive oil and that I put like slap your mama in to season it. And then I've got crushed red pepper and hot cayenne pepper in here. And then as I use the oil, I just keep replacing the oil and I just let it sit there. So I have a couple of jars of it and I just put it in rotation and let it sit as long as I can and then use it because I don't use it every day. All right, so earlier I said nutritional yeast. And nutritional yeast I think can be used, but I meant to say xanthan gum. That's a thickener, right? But it also has like 1 carb per 1/4 tablespoon. And you might need, maybe for this I would need 3, whatever. That's more carbs than I want in there, but not a great amount, right? So what I did get was this, which you use in soup. This ground Ogbono. I might be saying that wrong. And you really use that in a soup, but it's also to thicken soup. So I'm hoping, I saw somebody else use it. I'm hoping that I can use it, but it's made, I made a little list. So it's a Ogbono soup. It's a good source of protein, healthy fat, fiber. It's generally used in soups and stews. It's made from like a, I think mango seed, some different fruits. So it's much more natural than like a flour base or anything. So, warmed up my soup. Oh no, did you see that? Yeah. What in the ham fats? I guess it's gonna make me use it. So that right there, I guess I got a little bit in there anyway, didn't I? I might need it anyway because I don't. Let me leave that one out because really, I don't know if this other one is going to thicken it like I want it. So, all right. What did I just do with it? So I'm gonna put like maybe 3 tablespoons in here. To start with, we'll see if that, this is a lot of cabbage. And then I added in a lot of water. I let it cook. So it's good and done, that's for sure. We'll see if it thickens. Starting on one side and turn it down some. Should have put it in a taller pot. I can tell you right now, so far it's getting thicker. But now that psyllium husk, it'll take your water out quicker than quick. It'll thicken it up fast. But like I said, I believe this is made more for thickening soups. Probably gonna make it a little bit more, something maybe a little bit more slimier than looser. Definitely still thickening though. I chose a good pan for cooking it, not a good pan for working it, as far as for working it. I don't think I could ever be the person that would, not with the way my arms feel and stuff, like working, pounding the yam. No. You need to have 2 good arms. Or 1 good arm. Definitely not the correct pot for working it. All right, I'm gonna try a little bit more just because I really want to. It's a lot of cabbage in here, but at the same time, I really want to use something that's a little bit more natural. And plus, I'm telling you that, no, I don't want all that. Yeah, I'll take what falls off, but we don't want all that. That psyllium husk, it just seems to get into my belly and feels like it just turns into straight cement. Like, you know, when they say fiber, it fiber. Fiber don't work the same in everybody's body. Worst case scenario, if this don't, did say let it cool, but I know what I'm looking for. I know if you're looking at this, then you know what I'm looking for. Also, I was saying that I had got a different, I call it a straining bag. It's really a cheesecloth, but I got the nut milk bag just because it's a silkier feel, and which means it's easier to clean than that cheesecloth. It's pretty big. They got smaller sizes, but when I make it, I usually make a it has a drawstring, which that part don't really matter because you can put it in there then squeeze it out. But yeah, that was what I was talking about. I could eat it just like this, but if I want it to be, I think I want it to be a little drier than this. And it could just need some more. I'm gonna let it sit on this heat just a little while longer, keep working on it before I add this. Or a pack like this, maybe not this one. All right, so I'm not gonna add the xanthan gum in there because I told myself I wasn't gonna do that. I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna put it in the little saran wrap balls, let it cool, and use whatever I come out with, because my thing was I wanted a healthier version that would be easier on every part of me. So I need to see if this right here will bring me that. I might know the next time, maybe. First of all, once I let it cool, I may learn a lot more. At the same time, I did add more water than I'm used to working with in my cabbage, just because I was waiting on that to arrive. So I had time to sit there and mess with it. And of course, just sometimes who I can be, I kept adding water to it. So, well, it's definitely done. I definitely usually want it drier than that. I cut 2 pieces already of the saran wrap. So let's see how this turns out for me. I don't do my, I don't wrap too much. I don't make the balls really, really big. That's hot to me. And I really need to put on like a, not as stiff as I'm used to, but we'll see. Cause I still, no matter what, you still can enjoy it. It's still gonna be edible. But I am used to it being a bit stiffer. But I did read where if you use that you needed to let it cool. You can go ahead and do this, you know, put it in the saran wrap, but you need to really let it cool. I have 6 so far. Well, 7. I put 1, tried to put 1 in the fridge just so that I could go ahead and cool it off, just to see what happens when it cools off. So the 3 cabbage, and I would say they were medium in size. They yielded, I didn't make them big, about 10. This is 9, and I have 1 in the refrigerator. And I'll just let these sit here and cool, and then they'll go in the refrigerator. Some will go in the freezer because I'm not going to use them all right now. But I will go ahead, like I said, and make some up for when I want it later on, just because it's not like, I kind of like making it at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of messy a little bit. So, but either way, let that sit in there a little while. And that's my vegetable fufu. I am gonna try, I'll probably still keep making this one, to be honest with you, especially if it does my stomach well. The psyllium husk, yeah, it will dry it up quick, and probably even the xanthan gum will dry it up quick. And but if it moves through my body better, I'm still going with this. And I'll just try to dry out my cabbage a little bit more. It's my first time using that, so hey, I'm definitely gonna do it again because I love it. So this is definitely gonna be trial and error, and I'm probably gonna do carrots. I'm gonna do red cabbage. I don't know that I'm gonna do the eggplant one because probably more than I want to pay. Anyway, here we go.